my name is Chris Omalwa, and I'm your host at Diaspora, Home and Abroad. In this show, we bring you stories from the diaspora. Also, we talk about issues that affect us, that are emerging from home. And this week, we are talking about an upcoming convention that is going to be held in Washington, D.C. Today, I'm speaking to the team that is organizing that convention to give us more details about the convention. And so on our show today, I'll be joined by Dr. Robert Shuri. Shuri is the man behind the whole thing. And again, our sister, Elizabeth Kang'ethe, who is the mayor, our politician in the UK. She's not feeling so well, but she's agreed to join us in spite of the hormone that she has. And for the first time, Professor Peter Ndiangui is also joining us from Florida. So it's going to be a lot of back and forth, but later on we are going to zero in on basically the convention. So guys, welcome to our show. I'm really pleased to host you today. And I'm going to start with our sister who is not feeling well. I'm not sure she can last the whole hour, but let's bring her in. Sister Elizabeth, how are you, and how is the UK? How are you guys feeling back there? How is the community in London?
Good evening, good day, good morning, wherever you are. I'm actually well. We are well. I'm not too bad. I can manage. I'm a survivor. I can do it. I've survived so many storms. So I'm Councillor Dr. Elizabeth Kang'ethe. I'm actually all the way in UK, in London specifically. I am an elected mayor a councillor for the last 13 years. And do I say the only first Kenyan mayor in UK? I'm also a qualified teacher. And I was a head teacher back in Kenya. I come here in OVC under a program called Beacon of Hope. And as you can tell, Beacon of Hope, it is a program we run with my husband, Bishop BK. And in this program, we do assist diasporians in so many different sectors in terms of empowerment, family matters. There's so much that happens to diasporians because we are Kenyans away from home. And so we do work alongside diasporians. And as OVC is a global team. We've been incorporated, and I am really grateful to the founders because they found it fit that Beacon of Hope should join. So I'm excited tonight. We'll be sharing a bit more of what we do and why we are here as OVC. But I'm glad that we're being recognized, and as we get ready for the Expo in May, as diasporians, there's a lot that we can do for Kenya, and we'll be sharing a bit more. So I'm glad to be part of this, and I'm glad to be here in this team. So good evening once again.
Thank you, Councillor. Dr. Shuri, as Elizabeth says, we are here, and of course our origins are from Kenya. We still maintain a lot of very strong contacts back at home. What happens at home affects us directly, at times even more than those ones who are back at home. Please introduce yourself and also just speak briefly about what OVC is all about, and again, give us the brief about the convention.
Thank you. And thank you, Chris, for hosting us here. The OVC team here, we are very, very glad that you gave us this platform so that we can be able to expound more on OVC and the plans that we have. My name is Robert Shuri, and I'm based in Columbus, Ohio, where I live and work with my family. And so I run an organization called Global Standards Resource Certification. It's an organization that pretty much does food safety certifications, quality system certifications, and management systems certifications, similar to what you hear about ISO 9001, ISO 22000. All these are certification schemes that show excellence in a company in terms of global standards. When I'm not doing that, I run the Global Diaspora One Voice Consortium, an organization that is also known as OVC, that was founded about 5 years ago, and which is an umbrella organization bringing together other organizations that are here in the diaspora to champion and also to help solve issues that are cross-cutting to all of us, issues that not one organization can handle, but which can be handled collectively if we come together, because that has been the cry for many diaspora organizations, where they can be able to all talk in one voice. And that's why we are called One Voice Consortium, because we bring all these voices together, whether they are in the educational sector, whether they are in the socioeconomic sector, whether they are in the governance sector, whether they are in agriculture, technology, finance, innovation, SMEs, culture, welfare, gender equality, and all the other aspects that make a lifestyle and livelihood of our people improve here in the diaspora. Not forgetting that we do all these things because we have families and we are also citizens of our country. And so we want also to tie what we are doing here with what is happening back home.
Let's bring in Professor Peter. Peter,
Yeah.
I thank you again for joining us today. How is Florida and how are people doing there?
Florida ni kama mwambao. Florida is nice and warm, and we are all relaxed and enjoying life here. Karibu sana.
Awesome, awesome. So Peter, what's your interest in OVC? And before we talk about the convention.
Right. Thank you so much. Let me start by, of course, introducing myself. I know you mentioned about me. I am from a village called Madakwaini in Nyeri. That's where I was born and brought up on the slopes of Mount Kenya. And then I've been here for the last 25 years, 20 of them which have been spent in Southwest Florida. I am a university professor in Florida Gulf Coast University in the College of Education. In OVC, I am the director of operations, or more recently the executive director. So I kind of do anything that the president tells me to do. But one of the things is to check on who is coming in and make sure that they meet the qualifications, as well you can have a marriage with them, that they are good people and their organizations are credible organizations. And then, you know, we just move on and we welcome anybody that we think is good. But anything that the president tells me to do, like in the Expo, we are doing a lot together. I'm helping. I am a lighthearted man of Dr. Shuri. I'd like to say that. You know?
Awesome, awesome. That sounds so good. So, Dr. Shuri, let's come back to and zero in on the convention. Please let our viewers know when the convention is and what it's all about.
Thank you, Chris. The Diaspora One Voice Consortium Expo in May 5th to 7th was really an expo that we found that there is a niche and a need for kind of showcasing our businesses that are in Kenya and East Africa, to showcase them here in the diaspora. As you very well know, the theme of this expo is investor and trade bridging opportunities between USA and East Africa. And what we have noted, Chris, is that we need to make a platform for diaspora to come together so that they can be able to not only market goods, not only expose products that are there in Kenya and East Africa, but particularly if they can also be able to share ideas and also to learn from others, and more so to network with many organizations, which has been one of our primary goals in OVC. We make sure that our members can be able to meet, they can be able to showcase various products and also share ideas, because those 3 days we will be having panel forums, whether they are in education, whether they are in governance, whether they will be in agriculture and food security, environment and sustainability. We'll also have a focus on real estate and housing and infrastructure. We'll also have fintechs, that is finance, banking, and technology. And so, Chris, we'll be having all those discussions. And we have invited speakers to come and discuss and present various papers and also innovations and ideas that they have. So it's going to be a really great learning moment. We'll also have entertainment, Chris. We intend to have some fun. And so we'll have some invited artists that are going to really spice up our whole event. Besides that, of course, we'll have our own food, food that is East African by nature. So we are inviting people to come and share all that time together.
Awesome, awesome. And Councillor, and you, in your view, why is it very important for the diaspora to get involved in what's going on back at home, especially in terms of giving back to the community that made it who it is in the first place?
Thank you very much, Chris. A very good question. And, the contribution that the diasporians do. For a long time, we have said we do not want to be recognized just for the remittances that we send. And so we found that, and I'm really glad that OVC has come up with this idea, because individually we do give back. If I ask you, you do send your little, dollars, pounds to your family. But corporate, what can we do to give back to our communities? In terms of education, in terms of food infrastructure, whatever we do, infrastructure, food, whatever we do, it is very, very important. Actually, it's even biblical. I am a Christian. It is biblical, sharing with those who do not have. So I feel that in my role, because in OVC, I come in under governance and empowerment, a country with no proper governance, a department with no proper governance will perish. So I believe what I'm doing and what I do in my part in OVC is very, very important, so that people can actually understand. If there is proper governance in OVC, no one will struggle to tell people to give back. No one will struggle to tell people to engage, because they already understand there is a streamlined way of doing things. So I believe really our background, the way we are brought up, actually even from our founding president, we know of the Harambee. What did Harambee mean? People pulling their efforts together. Look at what OVC has done, bringing over 100 different organizations in the diaspora. So a lot is happening, and I believe together we are strong. So giving back is part of us, and you can never, isolate Kenyans with giving. We've been brought up that way. Wherever you come from the 47 counties, we have been brought up that way. And us in diasporians, most of us, we must say we are advantaged. But what can we do to support people? Alone, I can only do that much. But together, when we pull our resources together, there is so much we can do, including supporting our government in most of the initiatives. We've got so many professionals here who want to give back, but alone. I'm from Kiambu. How much can I do? I'm a qualified teacher. I was a teacher back home. I'm in politics. I'm in governance. How much can I do only in Kiambu? But if we pull our resources together, I'll be there supporting people in Siaya. I'll be supporting people in Cabranet. I'll be supporting people in Nyeri, wherever, because we have pulled our resources together. So giving back is part of us, and you can never, as Kenyans, there is no way you can separate us from giving back. And I believe OVC is the right body, is the right platform for us, including actually supporting our government. During the elections, we stood, I was an observer through OVC. I stood there as an observer. So giving back is not just actually, don't think of monetary. There is so much that we can do. Whatever you've been gifted in, bringing and pulling our resources together, there is so much that we can do. And I believe OVC, we are doing the right thing.
If you allow me, can I add something to what Kang'ethe has said?
Yeah, please.
And I'll get to your question.
Yeah.
Why is it important for us to connect at home? And this is very important. I am a product of that village. Let me give you 2 or 3 incidents that happened. When I was admitted to the university, just before I went to the university, there was a party, let's just call it a party, in our little house in Madakwaine village. And we were driving around, and everybody was going to our house. Everybody, even the ones that don't agree, whether they are from the independent church and the Presbyterians and the Catholics, the chief, everyone was coming there. And if you ask them, where are you going? They were all going to take their child to the university.
That's true.
I was owned by the village.
Yeah.
And it was that moment I realized my education is not mine alone. It's not for my family. It belongs to them all. They owned me. When I got a job, when I was invited to come and teach in the United States, a similar thing happened. By this time, even more people from all over the region. I was among the first people they had seen being invited to come and teach as an expatriate teacher from the villages there in Nyeri to come and teach in Atlanta International School. They all came again together. This time it was held in the school compound because our house compound was very small. And they all said they are taking their child to America because he's going to teach these white folks in America, and you're bringing it to us. So by that time, I realized I have an obligation to take it back. It's a duty. The community expects me to do it, and I believe that's the way. Now, we're inviting all these people, back to your question, and they're coming. I am not really the man on the ground. More important is Professor Shoti, but right now he's in Kenya, so I'll take over a little bit. He's the one in governance. But my job is to make sure that the little nitty-gritties, the operations, they are all moving together. We also got Professor Ogaki with chairing the committee. They are all pulling together. You know, when we all work together. So we are making sure that this, like Dr. Shioli says, chakula iko, music iko, everybody is there happy together. Everything is in place. I can promise that we will have fun. We will share whatever we give the food, and more important, we'll share the knowledge. Everybody knows something, and nobody has all the knowledge. We can all learn from one another. My brother, thank you for giving me that chance. I needed to elaborate on that. My village owns me. I have built a computer lab there, 11 computers there through OVC. We have brought students from there. They are coming here to teach in America because I have to transfer that work. We have built, now that I've appointed the honorary ambassador of Nyeri, we are building an academy there to empower young people to come and take over from us. We cannot do it better. Now, organization, as Mia Kang'ethe says, can do. We're doing everything possible, whatever God has given us, and you'll see it in May. It will be amazing. Thank you, Chris.
Awesome. Dr. Shuri, you mentioned something that is very close to my heart, and that is the fact that if it's many of us, we go far. What is the motivating factor behind you organizing this very important meeting that brings together investors, people who are looking for investment opportunities, and also the diaspora to know what areas of investment in the 47 centers in Kenya?
Thank you, Chris, for that question. In fact, I think it's a very, very great question. And let me start by actually thanking our president, President Dr. William Ruto, who in his wisdom was able to see the need to bring diaspora community through the establishment of the Ministry of Diaspora Affairs, because we have long been championing for us to be connected with our government in a very structured manner. And now that we have even the State of Diaspora Affairs, which is led by PS Roslyn Jogu, we feel we are now, diaspora is very well connected through that. And we cannot thank the president enough for even doing that, because now we can be able to purposefully, as a diaspora, work with that State Department of Diaspora to be able to champion many things. Diaspora for a long time has been known, just like what Mayor Kang'ethe said earlier, it is very well known for the remittances that we give back and that kind of a situation. But we are also saying that we are more than just the remittances. Diaspora is more than remittances. We can even be able to remit skills. We can be able to remit other resources. We can be able to remit ideas. We can be able to remit technology. We can be able to remit even more than just remittances, because remittances are now just what people send. But we are saying that as the diaspora, we can be able to collectively come together and even create banks, create institutions. In fact, we have circles that are pulling resources together, people in saving and investing in Kenya. Imagine if all those circles come together and form a bank, like we have done through the Wire Bank, the Wire Neobank, and others. We can be able to purposely even be able to do bigger projects in Kenya. We are talking of infrastructure projects. We can be able to even ask the government to create diaspora bonds that diaspora people can be able to buy and be able to invest in projects in Kenya, whether it is a hospital, whether it is a road, whether it is even a bigger project like even the SGR. The diaspora can be able to do that. We are even talking about if we can be able to look at areas of food security and agriculture. I think we can be able to, as diaspora, be able to look at how we can be able to have a food security bond that also looks at how we can be able to have smart agriculture in those areas of our country that are arable and can be able to produce food. So what we are saying here is that diaspora can be able to be engaged in many things. We are talking of even now creating a food security bond of about 10 billion Kenya shillings that would be able to go towards improving food security. And we are also through other organizations partnering together to see how we can develop this. So what we are saying, Chris, is that coming together, we can be able to go very, very far. And this is what we are saying. We here in the diaspora, we are just like that, as one of my friends said, we are just like that honeybee that is out here. We need to take that honey back to our country. Our country is the hive. So we are all bees, and we collectively take that honey back to our country. And that is what we need to do. Look at other diasporas of India, of South Korea, of Malaysia, or even Israel, how they have been able to do many, many things. And that is what we are saying to our people. Let's come together, let's follow structures that are there, and let us improve this and get ready to work for our country and for our citizens.
That's correct. That's correct. Liz, the space is opening up for the diaspora, incremental steps. Like Dr. Shuri says, at least now we have some sense of representation, but that's not enough. We've always said that we need one of us, diaspora, or we need more than just a tokenism in government, because what happens in politics affects our lives directly. Can you speak to the importance of us, being at the table and not on the table?
Now, we all know, Chris, that the wearer knows where the shoe hurts most. And the one who sits next, there's a saying in my language, I don't want to interpret that in case I mess, but I believe we in the diaspora, for example, we know our problems more. We know what we go through. We are the right people to be sorting out our own problems. Anybody who has not lived in diaspora will be sitting somewhere in Nairobi in an office, making some decisions on a computer somewhere, and actually sometimes not deliberate, but making the wrong decisions. And that is why we are telling our government, and we really want to acknowledge our president, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ruto, and his cabinet, that they have really acknowledged that diaspora will need to be involved. However, we still feel that there is more at stake. There's more that they can do for us, including in our missions here. We are the people who know what needs to be done. We are the people who know exactly what we go through. Now, bringing somebody all the way, or actually even somebody to deal with diaspora issues who has never been in diaspora. It's just like taking a head teacher to a school and that person does not know that area. I'm saying this with all due respect because I've been a teacher and I've been an elected councillor. And to be honest, today, if I'm sent to a certain area, I would never be able to deliver because I do not know the issues that affect the people in that particular area. So in my area of governance, civic education, we did a lot of civic education in OVC as a team here. Actually, we even hosted the Electoral Commission, guiding them. And we said, as OVC, we want to continue with the diaspora engagement with them. We want to do civic education so that even our people can be enlightened. But how do we do that if we are not engaged? I believe actually the government should be using the personnel that we have here. We are the right people to be supporting the government, and we love our country so much. You know, we do so much for our country outside, but when it's actually recognized and when it's put on an official note, we would appreciate. So we are still expecting. I know there are still so many nominations going on, but we really want and do expect. Some of us are qualified. We can give back. Given an opportunity, we can serve in the diaspora and we can do it with all due diligence. And, you know, I mean, we are here. So I believe we people should be given an opportunity to work for our own government and for our people in the diaspora. Because at the end of the day, we are Kenyans. We love our country so much. And what we do, we want the best for our country. We would be able to get the data for all the professionals who at the moment they are not coming out. You know, I know Professor Diangui is doing so much to give back, but he still has not tapped enough. I thank God that he's been made an ambassador for Nyeri. What are the other counties doing? They've got so many professionals out here who want to give back. But more so, we want at the top level, the government should be appointing people here. We are ready. We want to give back. We have what it takes. I've been in government for so long in this country. I've been in Kenya, so I know the comparatives. I know what works. I know what does not work.
Dr. Shuri, viewers have been talking to a team that is involved in organizing the upcoming conference, Diaspora conference, that is going to take place in Washington, D.C., May the 6th to 7th. They've been giving us a rundown on the expectations. I think the only thing I can add is that this is a very important meeting. This is one of the main meetings, major meeting coming soon after the lockdowns that was brought about by COVID-19. So please plan to attend the convention. There's going to be a lot, like Dr. Shuri says, that we're going to display. My name is Chris Wamalwa, and thank you for joining us again on our show, Diaspora Home and Abroad, and I'll see you again next week as we bring you more stories from the diaspora.